These days, I can do anything from my phone. Book a vacation, order a meal from a five-star restaurant, buy and trade stocks. But maybe the most amazing thing I can do is make my dirty laundry disappear and then reappear perfectly washed and folded. I have Rinse to thank for that. I just schedule a pickup in the Rinse app or at rinse.com. A Rinse valet comes to get my clothes, and before I know it, they're back, crisply folded and ready to wear. They even do dry cleaning, which is returned hanging in a nice Rinse garment bag. And with Rinse, my satisfaction is guaranteed. If for any reason I'm not happy, they'll re-clean my clothes for free. Best of all, Rinse saves me tons of time each week. That's time I get to do something I love versus something I have to do. So if you want to save loads of time by not doing loads of laundry, remember, there's an app for that, Rinse. Sign up now and get $20 off your first order at rinse.com. That's RINSE.com.
At Amica Insurance, we know it's more than just a car or a house. It's the four wheels that get you where you're going and the four walls that welcome you home. When you combine auto and home insurance with Amica, we'll help protect it all. And the more you cover, the more you can save. Amica. Empathy is our best policy.
Don't you have an appreciation for the old and dead?
Well, we're talking to him.
And now, Cheese Wits.
You're muted. Did you check the Zoom screen? The little microphone thingy should not have a red line across it. It's on. So then something else is broken because I cannot hear you. And now you're gone. Go into your Zoom settings and make sure that your microphone is selected. Christopher Roth, everybody. Can't hear you either. Wait, you guys can hear each other? So is it me? The fuck? Can't be me. Wally's the one who doesn't know how to do things. God damn it. Oh.
Ow.
What was that?
Somehow it changed to some other speaker that I don't even think I have.
Oh, Jess's AI note taker from otter.ai.
What?
And
Yeah, you've got an AI note taker.
Well, I
taking
didn't want
notes.
that to automatically. I joined that came from another Zoom I was on the other day.
But it's there.
And I was going to be the problem.
Really, you were supposed to be. I don't really.
Jess was chastising me yesterday. Not a whole lot, just lightly.
I wasn't chastising you at all.
Here's what I can't do, though.
It was enough.
You guys, here's what I'm fucking unable to do is this is in full screen for some reason.
Well, it minimizes just like any other window.
Yeah, that's what I'm unable to do right now is minimize this window. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay. Holy Jesus, because I wanted to record.
Oh. Well, somebody is recording this anyway.
Not me.
You all think you have problems.
Well, here's what I was going to ask is if we are excited, ladies.
About?
Yes.
Well, see, with the new changes, I'm trying to decide if we should change the name of the show because of the new rules. I was throwing out some ideas like Girl Talk or The View.
What new rules, Jess?
What new rules?
Well, your friend Donna Jo Trump has said that legally
Donna Jo.
We are all the sex that we were assigned at conception. And as we all know from basic biology, we're all female at conception. And that Y chromosome kicks in down the road. So I just want to let you all know that if you need advice on your period or, maybe help coming up with a new name, I'm here for you.
So I could become Walina?
Yes. I was thinking Wanda, but that works too. Whatever you like.
Is somebody going to take away your reproductive rights, Jess?
Well, if they're taking away my reproductive rights, they're taking away yours too, darling.
They're going to have to dig deep.
So I just saw. I'm just checking this out. Maybe. So Chris, when I was pulling into the driveway, and Jess, when I was pulling into the driveway, getting home, I had a phone call from Ken Barlow.
Oh, no
How's
kidding.
Kenny
Did you know
doing?
we've been talking about him?
Yeah, he's doing fantastic. He was calling me to tell me that that Barb, a person we know, but one of his former partners, just sold their stations in I think Connecticut.
Oh,
For 500,000 WKZE.
I saw that.
That's her. 500,000 1059 FM. Now here's the thing about that. They have a full staff,
Wow.
full programming staff.
Well,
And
now that they're sold, they probably won't.
no, they take no. They run absolutely no paid boxed programming.
No colon blow, no syndication.
Nothing. No syndication at all. So all of their advertising is local.
Who's their buyer?
I don't know. That's what I was just wanting to look up and see who bought them.
Might be somebody that's going to put all the syndication on.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would guess.
Yep. I just saw, by the way, that the CEO of Odyssey was stepping down.
David Field couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
And then there was a whole thing about how under his leadership, the company is poised for success. His fucking leadership lost a whole bunch of people their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it has something to do with Hofstra University.
Well, there you go. It's all gone then. That's
Yeah.
going to be a repeater then.
Yeah, probably. Jess, can you say that again, please?
Which part?
The part you were saying when I was reading, because I couldn't.
About your period?
No.
Oh.
No, it was after the period.
Oh.
No. The part of the part you were saying when I was reading.
The CEO of Odyssey stepped down. And in the little blurb I saw about it, somebody was quoted as saying that under his leadership, the company was poised for success. And I said, poised for success under his leadership, a whole bunch of people lost their fucking jobs.
Poised? They weren't poised for anything.
Mm-mm.
You know, so here's the great thing about that. When you just say that, the CEO the motherfucker should have been fired about a minute after he decided, let's spend lots of money and change the name and change all the logos and still fucking do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, I say. Look at Jess's cup. Cunt. is that the cup you look at? And Jess is pointed just perfectly. Is that the cup you use during business meetings, Jess?
I accidentally had it in a Zoom meeting the other day, and I picked it up like this, and as soon as I did, I realized what I was doing, and I put it back down, flipped it around, and then drank it like this, and I saw one of the people crack up in the meeting.
Well, then all you had to say was, that's my G unit cup. It's G unit. That didn't say cunt. It said G unit. I'm flashing back, baby.
G-Unit.
So I have been listening today. I spent while driving, doing a lot of driving today, was listening to the RFK hearings. So I'm going to say something weird, I think.
What?
Anything weirder than what he would be saying right now?
And you know what? It's fair to do that because in Trump's world, I'm surprised Trump hasn't mocked him yet because he likes mocking people who have trouble speaking.
Mm-hmm.
He's a mother mocker.
Mm-hmm.
He is a mother mocker. But here's the fact. So this RFK has been misplaced. He should have been going for like the USDA or the EPA because as an environmentalist, the guy's pretty solid. Just say. And his ideas about food additives and things are also pretty solid. But he's such a fucking wackadoodle when it comes to medicine things. and he's made millions off of suing and taking money from people who believe vaccines are bad, even though all his kids are vaccinated.
Did you see Carolyn Kennedy's letter to the Senate?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I mean, her very vocal letter to the Senate on the artist formerly known as Twitter.
Oh, I haven't seen it on Twitter. I saw the video on TikTok where she was reading it.
Yeah, I listened to the reading of it, and pretty serious. She's pretty serious broad.
Yeah.
Just saying. Jess, how do I change how I view it? Every time you speak, I see your face. Then when Chris speaks, it switches to him and I don't see you anymore.
Oh, Christ.
Do you see at the top of the screen where it says view?
Yeah, I see that. I'm there right now.
Click that
Yeah.
and then put it on gallery.
Gallery. There we go. Thanks, Jess.
Welcome.
Hey, I'm surprised they even got this far. And
Yeah.
You and me both. I wasn't planning on starting till about 4:20, to be honest.
I really did. I really did. I tested it the day.
Chris, when
the
I
day we
signed on
did it.
about 3 minutes early, he was already signed on.
Of course he
Yeah.
was. Wanted to make a good impression.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about making a good impression. I just don't want to be a fuck up. I just don't want to be the butt. And then when Jess is telling me, I can't hear your audio, I'm like, fuck me. What do you mean you can't hear my fucking audio? I've got it right. I'm looking at it.
It
I'm
was
doing
me
something,
being the
and
fuck up.
I can see Jess's eyes. Just
Oh, it
like,
was it was a problem. He was still trying to get into XOOM.
oh yeah. In her eyes, I could just see she's going, oh, I fucking knew it. I knew there was going to be an issue with this motherfucker.
And then all of a sudden you hear, wait, I can't hear this cocksucker either.
Right. Well, that's what I'm sitting there going like, wait a second. Chris just heard me and I can hear Chris. It's Jess.
Which
This
I don't
is
know.
an issue.
I don't really. I literally just used Zoom yesterday, and everything was fine. I've never changed any of the settings on it, so I don't know what could have happened. But here we are.
Now, wait a second. Now, whenever I say, I don't know what happened, you hammer me. But I believe you because
Because you really don't know what happened.
That's right. I really don't.
Be nice to your elders, Jesse.
You're exactly. I also like this new picture of Chris.
That's an old picture of Chris.
But I like that it's different from what we used to think we used to see.
Mhm.
I see.
I like this picture of you with the whole, you get the same screen that Jess has. Hey, I have one of those too. I don't use it though. I use the puffy pop filter.
That microphone in that picture may be the same one I sold to Jess.
It is.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe the same exact microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Very nice. Very, very nice.
But I also just got another new microphone.
Yeah.
It is I don't know if you can see it.
The
Audio Technica 2035.
now is that the one you use for books?
Mhm.
And so, what's the difference between them, Jess? Like, is the book one a warmer, more
Yeah,
full?
and it's a condenser mic,
right?
and the sound is different, and generally that's what's used for audiobooks, and it changes the room tone and actually kind of sounds better for my voice.
Really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What does it give your what does it give your voice? Like does it thin it or does it
Some oomph.
huh?
Some oomph. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
oomph.
That may be what I need. I've always thought that when I'm on mic that my voice sounds thin and just it sounds not masculine enough maybe.
Hmm.
What do you think? What do you think, guys?
Well, I don't know, Walida. Is that what we decided?
Walina.
Yeah.
Alina. It's an N, Jess. Get my name right, you cunt. That cup is great.
Let's not talk about names. Let's
Ooh.
not talk about names.
Chris.
Okay. You got to remember, I'm dating somebody right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now you can have the same pronouns.
Well, yes, we can. But here's the thing. She thinks Hitler's first name is Kyle.
Kyle Hitler.
No, she
Yeah,
does
and
not.
I said something about Hitler the other day. She's like, "Oh, Kyle Hitler." I'm like, "Where are you getting that from?"
Oh,
On the TV, they're
Kyle.
Yeah.
okay, I get it.
Yeah, she thinks the name's Kyle.
Oh, but
I said, no. His name is Adolf. Adolf Hitler.
Maryland's.
Oh my God.
Well, why
Maryland
is everybody
schools,
calling him Kyle then?
Maryland schools? Everybody
Yep,
oh,
Kyle Hitler. Maybe that was his grandson.
could be.
I am somewhat surprised, Chris,
Yeah.
that you haven't mentioned Night Court. Are you still watching Night Court?
You know what? The reboot is on Peacock, and I just haven't settled down and got into the rest of it. I got through the first season. It was okay.
Well,
No,
John
you did.
Larroquette is back.
Oh, yeah. That's the only reason I watched the fucking thing.
I didn't know that John Larroquette was back.
Oh, yeah. That was
Well, where is Chris broadcasting from? A chicken coop?
Apparently,
It sounds like birds are
I
fluttering.
am inside of the chicken coop right now.
It sounds like birds are
does
just.
that mean you're at Chick-fil-A?
Oh,
I was there earlier, though, and Popeyes as well.
Mm.
hey Jess, you guys having any or Chris, have you seen any ICE agents around?
No, but since my next door neighbors are Mexican,
yes.
I've been worried about it.
Well, they'll be coming. I've seen ICE agents here and Border Patrol here.
I did get a thing that was addressed to my stepfather. I'm gonna have to pull up the picture of it because I threw away the actual.
Did it say, "Dear compatriot, thanks for all the tips you gave us earlier on"?
The envelope said, "Do not destroy. Registered document enclosed.
Ooh.
Non-transferable. Dated
Ooh,
material.
registered.
Personal record information form." And the registered recipient was my stepfather, who has never lived in the state of Tennessee, has never lived at this address, has never voted in Tennessee. But because his mailing address was changed to my address,
Right.
he was sent this National Impact Survey of Illegal Immigration on Tennessee Taxpayers and Voters.
Mm-hmm.
And because it said do not destroy, registered document enclosed, I took a picture of it, posted it, and said, oops, destroyed it.
Just be careful. The Kyle's friends are going to be looking for you.
Listen,
Yeah, Kyle's friends are going to be looking for it. And listen, you got all these rednecks down there that are opening up these letters.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Picture them sitting around opening it up. And they said, for every person you report to ICE, you'll be paid back in spades. And they're like, well, that's a double win.
Now we can have us a hanging.
Jesus Christ.
Edit one of Cheesewit's episode.
In our last episode, Chris went there.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
it's kind of true because the same thing. Listen, how fucking goofy is it? Okay, when you think of illegal immigration, you think of Texas, California, New Mexico, border states down there, right?
Mhm.
On the Mexican border. You don't think of fucking where they are. Chicago, Aurora, Colorado, fucking New York City. Yeah, there's probably immigrants there, but that's not where they're fucking coming in. So the states that really were all upset about this, there's no ICE down there.
Mhm.
No,
There are
not at all.
fucking states that are very blue. And the other part of that makes me think, the other part of that is that immigrants work immigrants work in agriculture, right? Florida, Texas, California. If you go after those immigrants who primarily work in agriculture, the prices go up and Donald Trump's going to go, oh, I'm fucked now. So he's going to stay away from those states, even though that's where the fucking problem is.
Mm.
If you're not into the whole thing. Listen, I don't want fucking immigrants who shouldn't be here either. I want them to come in the regular way. Come in, file the paperwork.
He
take
doesn't
the
seem to
10 years.
care which way they come
No,
in.
he doesn't care. You're exactly right, because they're scooping. When you got to go into a fucking Who are you going to find at a fucking grammar school?
Yeah.
We found Juan Valdez's great grandchild.
And now we're back to a country of profiling, of stopping people just because they're brown and demanding to see documentation.
Well, you got to know
it's
that
terrifying.
Like, here in the state of Maine, and by the way, let me just say, bully for our Republican senator who I voted for, who voted against Hegseth. One of three Republicans who, I mean, Mitch McConnell, come on. You gotta believe he's not running for anything again. I don't even think he knew he voted.
Truth.
Oh, okay. They're just telling him what to do.
No, he's pushing the fucking button, sitting there thinking it's going to be stop, no whammies.
But here the schools are geared up for ICE agents to come to schools, and they're handing out handouts at the schools to bring home to parents how to handle if ICE comes to your house and all these things. You've got to know the fucking president and his posse, they're going to start attacking those people and going after those people for putting together literature that tells you how to protect yourselves, because apparently the guy who's ahead of the Homeland, I guess that's Homeland Security, is already complaining that immigrants are too smart about how to protect themselves.
Yeah, because if you don't have a warrant, and ICE does not have warrants at this point,
no,
you don't have to do anything.
The other problem with taking out all of the immigrants, particularly migrants who are here undocumented, illegal, whatever, they pay about $100 billion a year in taxes.
Not to mention all the stuff they buy that helps our economies.
So let's spend $100 billion to get them out of the country, lose the $100 billion in taxes they pay, and lose the $100 billion they spend. So it's a net loss of $300 billion getting rid of them. Mm-hmm. It's just lunacy.
And then we don't have people to do the work that they do. And so then prices go up.
Oh, and you also know that there's going to be incentives passed out. The government is going to incentivize people to turn in their neighbors. It's so fucking Orwellian. It really is so Orwellian.
It's so fucking 1930s.
Oh, this is 1984.
Yeah, it's absolutely 1984, and it's like what they did in Texas when they were incentivizing people to turn in women they think might have gone and got health care somewhere else in another state.
Yep.
You're fucking kidding me. It's just too crazy. All this for money. Like look at where they're having the big Republican meeting this right now out at the Doral Country Club owned by Donald Trump. There's $1 million going straight into his pocket from the taxpayers, and they don't care. Mm-hmm. The fucking people that love Trump don't care.
The man knows how to make $1, and all you fucking libs. Jesus Christ Almighty.
Well, he also knows how to lose $1. He's only been bankrupt 6 times.
Yeah.
We were up in Atlantic City this weekend, and beautiful view out of the Caesars. Had a corner room, 2 windows, one on each side, one on the ocean, and the other. It's like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, that's Trump's hotel falling down.
Just take down the T and just put Rump. It's the Rump Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that gives a bad name to Rump.
We have a Ramada Inn here, like lots of communities have Ramada Inn. The city just condemned it. It was used during the pandemic for housing people who didn't have a place to go and people who lost housing, and they just tore it up. They just tore it up. So they condemned it once. Ramada came in and tried to rehab, and then there was flooding, and so they let people back and use it again as a shelter. Tore it up again. Now it has broken pipes. They've got flooding, and so the Ramada has once again in this town. We're down a hotel.
I can't even remember the last time I stepped foot in a Ramada.
Last time I did, it was in Canada.
Actually, I think maybe the hotel I stayed at in San Diego a few years back was Ramada. Maybe.
Oh, how about this too, you guys? Did you see that Canada is saying, go ahead, tariff us, and we're going to shut off the electricity?
Yep.
Almost all the electricity in Maine comes from Canada.
Yeah.
Almost
And
all of
several
New
other
England's
states as well.
electricity.
Well, that's why it's called hydro up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's because I guess a lot of people may not realize or know that electricity is produced by one company, but it's transferred or transported by another company. So Canada Hydro produces a lot of our electricity and some other hydro, but CMP owns the lines that electricity flows through. So people don't understand that because we got a CMP in Maine, CMP doesn't make the electricity. They're just the transporter of it. They own all the lines, and it's just like cellular. They all share the same fucking towers and the same space.
Mm-hmm.
They just have different names on it. That's all. That's all it is. Yeah. So if Trump decides to tariff Canada, they're 25%. I may have no electricity, you guys, or the rest of New England, because most of New England is supplied by Canada.
And a lot of Michigan. And
Yeah, a lot of the border states.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the northern border states. A good portion of New York State
Mm-hmm.
gets their power from Canada. It's absolutely, it's such a pissing match of insanity.
And you can tell that they don't want to do that in Canada.
No, of course they don't.
But
what
they also have to
also-
protect their own citizens first.
They don't want to look like little bitches, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want? Guy says, hey, we're going to make you we're going to bend you over a chair and fuck you up the ass and make you our little bitch in our 51st state.
Did you see Google is actually going to rename the Gulf of America in its maps?
Dumbasses.
Mm-hmm.
You got to believe that if a Democrat comes into office after Trump, unless he runs for his third term, if a Democrat comes in, you got to believe they're going to rename it Gulf of Mexico
Well,
again.
of course, but that's probably not going to be the first thing on their list of priorities to undo.
I would
because
hope not.
He's fucking everything up.
Well, yeah. So,
By the way, I hope he doesn't realize that New Mexico is actually a state, because many people in America do not realize that New Mexico is America.
Oh, you're right. You're correct.
I know. I have a friend who is from New Mexico, and she has shown her New Mexico ID to law enforcement, and they say, no, you need an American license. I mean, like multiple, it happens to her all the time that people say her New Mexico ID is not valid because she needs an American ID. So I hope that he doesn't realize that New Mexico is actually a state in America.
I have only
because he
one
will
time.
name it New America.
Oh yeah, right. New America, right near it. I have one time been asked by a phone call person when I was giving my information for, I don't know what the hell it was, and this was several years ago. I said I live in Maine. He said, okay, what state do you live in? I live in Maine. Where's that? The fuck do you mean? Where's what? What? Like, just it's in the fucking country where the easternmost part of here we are. We're the first place in America to get sun.
Mm-hmm. Well, whoever asked you that went to the same school Jenna did.
Kyle Hitler.
Is that Kyle's place? And so, Jess, I don't know if you were worried, but I was worried because my sister is in a assisted or a care facility. Her everything is paid for by Medicaid, Medicare, because she is completely disabled and is unable to do anything and has never been able to do anything. So her whole life has been Medicare and Medicaid. And when that whole got shut off yesterday, it's back on, I guess, today. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do now?
Mm-hmm.
I can't pay for her shit, her living and all of that.
We're paying we're paying tens of thousands of dollars a month just out of my parents' retirement to pay for their living.
Yeah, sure. Until it's gone.
I don't know what Medicare is actually covering for them. They both have hospice care.
Right.
But I don't know.
So they're probably whatever medical attention they're getting, maybe.
Yeah, hospice does all their medical stuff, but I don't know how much Medicare is involved in that because I have never been asked. I've never seen any. My parents did not keep very good paper trails leading into them going into assisted living in the first place. And so I'm still trying to figure out some stuff. And I see Medicare bills like to pay for their premiums, but I don't know what it's actually being used for them.
Yeah. I don't know what my sister's. I just know that she gets no money.
Yeah.
It all goes straight to their care facility, but they take good care of her.
Yeah.
They get her to the hospital and she's got to get there. She was in the hospital again earlier this week. Again.
Oh, no.
I got a call today. They were testing her for one of the illnesses that are out there. I don't know, the one that gives you diarrhea. I don't know what it is. Not the flu, but something
RSV,
else.
maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. But
I don't know if RSV gives you diarrhea.
I don't know either. but they're on top of these things. And they keep on top of it. It's good care they're giving her. Mm. But my first fucking thought was, what the fuck is she going to do? And then I also had a tenant who owed a lot of money. And there's a program, a government funded, state/federal funded program that was going to pay some of that back, a few $1,000s that we're counting on. Turned it off because the funding got shut off. Mm-hmm. Worried about that. And we were really counting on that money. I'm like, what? Well,
and I have a friend who works for the federal government and everybody in the government just got, she didn't share the email, but I had also seen about this on social media that everybody in the federal government got an email saying that you can resign or retire as of September, but stop working now and we'll just pay you.
Yeah, 8 months severance pay.
8 months. And then I saw a senator saying, don't do that. He does not keep his word. There is no line item in the budget way to pay for that.
I think that was Tim Kaine from Georgia. I think that was him who said,
possibly
don't fall for this bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was Tim Kaine. And
I think the union is also telling people not to do it.
No, fucking of course not.
She said the only ones she knows of that are actually going to do it, we're going to retire this year anyway.
Yeah, so fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking absolutely do it. But you probably won't get the money.
Exactly.
He's a shill artist.
Mm-hmm.
He just, we're going to get shut down. We talk any more bad about him. What a good guy he is. I wish you guys would stop that. He's a good guy, you guys.
I will not participate in this tomfoolery.
Well, see, at least you're using his language. You're going back 70 years. Oh, the tomfoolery. I am not putting up. I'm going to have to go back and watch Anne of Green Gables and brush up on my old school language.
Anne of Green Gables. Jesus Christ.
You guys, Anne of Green Gables is one of my absolute favorite series of all times and books of all times. That Anne Shirley, fantastic. It's the whole ball of wax. Do either one? You both must know the story, obviously.
I know of the story.
Oh well, the series, the TV series, which starred Colleen Dewhurst, who a phenomenal actress, Megan Fellows as Anne Shirley, and I just forgot the guy's name who played her uncle.
Chris, how old is he?
Wally?
Yeah.
I don't know, Medicare, I guess.
Mm.
Don't you have an appreciation for the old and dead?
Well, we're talking to him.
Well, there you go. Finally, a piece of low-hanging fruit got picked. That one's out of the park. No, it's something wrong. It's really the romanticness of that era and that Canadian sort of lifestyle. And since I've worked, have you spent much time in Canada? Either one of you?
Few days.
Canada is very much like what you think it is. It is a polite place.
Mhm.
It is a people don't you don't get the fuck you motherfucker when you're driving. You don't get that. It's not. Canadians really are very fucking polite. Because when I was working up in northern New York and I was over there 2 or 3 times a week, that's just the way Canadians are. They're friendly folks.
Sorry.
So,
I'm
hey,
sorry.
Sorry.
It's about them, not about us. It's not. You know,
Well, because we have not matriculated to their level.
well, and they also got the Tim Hortons, and I know you like the Tim Hortons.
I like Timmy's.
You'd be right at home.
I do like Timmy's.
Tim Hortons does have a good donut, a better than a Dunkin' donut, because Tim Hortons, I think they still make them at Tim Hortons. They still make the donuts in shop. Dunkin' here, nope, don't make it. As a matter of fact, I was at Dunkin' last week. I went to Dunkin'. I went again today. I fucking stood in line. Didn't stand in line. Drove up. Maybe I told you guys this story. Get up there to pay. 10 minutes go by. Still, and then the woman finally comes to the door and says, or comes to the window and says, "Oh, the coffee machine is broken. It's not working." What the fuck?
I would murder someone immediately.
So I left. And
Hell, you have murdered people for less.
Mhm.
this was 6:10
True.
in the morning.
I mean, what? Nothing.
I called them back and said, "Hey, listen, I was here this morning, blah, blah, blah." I had paid, by the way. You know how that whole routine, you pay first and then they bring you your shit?
Yeah.
I had paid. So when I called them and said, "Hey, listen, I paid," and yada, 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 she goes, "Oh, well, we'll give you one on the house." I said, "That's not on the house. I fucking paid for it. What are you talking about on the house?
Right.
You owe me coffee because you paid for it and your machine's broke." And she kept calling it a complimentary coffee. And I was getting so fucking mad on the phone.
But the person who said, "Sorry, the machine's broken," didn't offer you a refund?
No, because they don't know how to do it. They're just there.
For fuck's sake.
They're just minions. And I had a lot of traffic behind me. And you know what they're thinking behind me? And this is what else I know. Behind me, they're going, "The fuck did that guy order? 5 fucking bagels, 2 dozen donuts, a frappuccino, a mochaccino, a chino. It's like, fuck. Because they're thinking that I fucked up the whole system. I think that the coffee you get, you can
Do
order
they
a
only
donut,
have one coffee machine?
I don't know Jess, I don't know what's going on. Well, I think that it's a multi-unit. It's all one unit that it all comes out of.
I'm sorry. If Dunkin's coffee maker is not working, they just need to lock the doors.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I was getting so inside. I was enraged. I wasn't reflecting it in my speech with her. Inside, I was fucking just doing somersaults. I was so pissed every time she called it a complimentary coffee. I wanted to fucking just punch her in the face. Like, I paid for it. It's not complimentary. I was losing my mind inside. Eventually, I got back later in the day on the afternoon drive home, and I did get a complimentary coffee.
So does that mean you got 2 coffees?
No, I did not. And she did tell me, "Oh, we'll give you a donut or something." I don't want a fucking donut. I just want a coffee. I think in the morning between 6 a.m. or they open at 5 a.m., I believe. Between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., coffee. 1 donut, 1 muffin, or 1 bagel. That's it. Not the fucking whole office. Not fucking carriers with 4 of those with 4 coffees each. Not Box of Joe, a coffee, a donut. Move the fuck on. That's just me. Of course, I might be being harsh.
You might be.
Don't you hate when you're behind somebody though and it's taking them fucking forever?
Yes, but also, if suddenly there was a rule that I couldn't just order what I wanted to order, I would also be pissed.
Yeah, of course. It can't be a rule. But common courtesy tells you, don't fucking hold up everywhere. And when you get up to the front, the people always say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's not your fucking fault they ordered fucking for 18 people in the office. That's on them, the motherfuckers.
Yeah, but they also know that you might be the person that yells at them for it.
Yeah, I don't often yell at I don't say that I don't ever.
But they
But
don't
I
know
don't-
that looking at you.
Oh, no. You look at me, you think, oh, there's an asshole. There's no doubt. Because I know that I get a look on my face that says, you're fucking so disappointing.
Mhm.
I know you can read that in my face. I know that when I get.
And you know
I'm
what you
not
can read in my
saying the word
face?
cunt. But I know you can see that in my face when I get up there and I'm unhappy. You can, I don't know, maybe like you, Jess, like your cup, my face might actually spell out the word cunt across my face. I don't know. It could morph. There could be something going on. Oh my God. Hey, Chris,
Wally,
what was the picture of you and Jenna I saw on Facebook? What were you guys doing?
we were at the Price is Right live last night.
That was it. Price is Right.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
what
it was
happened?
it was over at the Weinberg, Jess.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Was Drew Carey
And-
there?
No. They have some hack that comes out
Oh.
that does it. This guy, a guy named Todd Newton. And Todd, I think he's hosted some shit on the E channel and
Figs, brother.
the revival of Fig's brother. The revival of Press Your Luck on the game show channel
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
when they just called it Whammy.
Yep.
He hosted that. But this guy is such a fucking puker. It's like, hey, everybody, a beautiful
Ugh.
Frederick, Maryland at the Weinberg Center for the Arts. Good evening to you.
Well,
You know, it's that kind of fucking guy.
fucking
And-
Seacrest and Carson Daly probably taught him to do it.
Well, yeah, but this guy tries to take it to another level because he doesn't sound like a little girl like the other two. He actually has a deep.
I think Steve Crest
And-
is a girl.
I looked at Jenna last night. I said, "Look up at the stage." And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Who does that guy look exactly like?" And she's like, "Who?" I'm like, "I want you to look at this while I'm saying it so you can laugh hysterically. Are you ready?" It's like, "Yeah." Shooter McGavin. It's like, what? Shooter McGavin. Happy Gilmore. Google Shooter McGavin.
Shooter McGavin. So what's his real name?
I forgot his real name.
Christopher McDonald.
Christopher McDonald. Yeah, dead fucking ringer. As this guy's gotten older, looks just like Shooter McGavin.
Yeah,
It's like,
That's fantastic.
he plays a good character, by the way, the Shooter McGavin guy. Hey, did I read, speaking of Happy Gilmore, just real quick, are they making a new Happy Gilmore?
they are.
Oh,
I read that.
I did not
So
read
did you guys get to get up on stage?
No, we did not.
Anybody,
but we got
anybody
to-
in your party?
No, we just sat there and watched the show, watched people spin the wheel, and that was good enough.
Was it
Do
fun?
they do
It was okay.
do they do actual pricing and give away prizes?
Oh yeah, they gave away a trip to Costa Rica last night
Hagerstown?
and trip to
Hey, Trump's
the-
giving away trips to Costa Rica.
free ones.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I was expecting him to do last night. Just like,
Trips
hey,
to Hagerstown?
congratulations, you've won a beautiful trip to Wilmington, Delaware.
While in Wilmington, you'll stay at the Ramada Wilmington.
You'll stay at the Ramada where you'll get a free Gideon Bible. Oh my God.
Oh man!
Plus, here's 2 tickets to a free museum in Washington, D.C.
You go there. By the way, I have I forget what I have a couple of news apps that send me alerts. Like the not Fox or any of the and not MSNBC, a real news, not just unbiased news, just headline stuff. And just before we started this, there was a new Trump is floating the idea that we should take American criminals, people who are in American jails, who are Americans, and send them off to other countries to house them.
I saw
Pay
a
a
clip
small
of an
fee.
interview where he was saying that Mexico was just dumping all of their criminals into the U.S. And he said, if I was Mexico, I would do that. And then the rest of us were like, You just set free all of the January 6th criminals in the
Yeah.
U.S.
No, Jess, that's so different.
I know.
That's
Hey,
so
one of those
different.
guys that got released got killed.
I know. Fucked
He-
around and
he-
found out, didn't he?
He fucked around and resisted arrest. Bam, bam.
If only he had complied.
Good. That's right. Good night to you. And I imagine we'll see more of that. Maybe not murder. Cops having to kill somebody, but
But
you're
they're
gonna
probably
see-
not going to try that hard not to when these people killed cops.
And it will be highlighted. Any of those people who were pardoned, if they get arrested again for something else, they are going to be all over the. If you think you were anonymous before, you should have stayed in your anonymity because you will not be anonymous any longer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, Christ. I'll be right back. I got to grab this. I'll call you back. I'll get back on in a second. It's my dad. I'll be in a little.
Okay. I thought he was saying, "Oh Christ," like he was a January 6er.
I did. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get caught. I'm gonna be out of here now. It's so funny how, like, look how our conversation is so about what's so current today, right?
Hmm.
It's all because I'm telling you, Jess. I
Because
forget
we live in a fucking bizarro world.
I forget what the name of the two news thing, but they're fucking constantly ding. Trump just does this. Ding. Someone just did this. Ding. It's like, what the fuck is going? And it's not because they're picking on it. It's because the guy is just fucking. He's gonna get writer's cramp.
Yeah, well, I mean, Project 25 did have a lot of things to do.
A few thousand pages.
Yeah, so he's got to get through that shit fast
It's
before we
all
figure out a way to
nutty.
stop him.
But here's the goofy thing. So he's already had to. The first big thing you do, and then the next day you have to retract it because you know so little, and the people you surrounded yourself with know so little
Mhm.
about how the federal government works and
Mhm.
how state government that you make these blanket fucking.
It's almost like a whole bunch of people who are not qualified to be there.
It is almost, Jess. It's almost like that.
Yeah.
It's very, very close to that.
Mhm.
It's like having, you know what it's like? It's like hiring a bunch of phlebotomists
Mhm.
to work in your restaurant.
Mhm. Mhm.
They know a lot about phlebotomy. They know nothing about cooking a good steak.
Mhm.
No.
I mean, personally, if he hired me to do any of those jobs, I would be equally as qualified as any of the people he has brought on so far.
Oh, me too.
Mhm. Except for the part where I'm not a millionaire.
I'm feeling really good about my skill set.
Hmm.
I might be able to work in the federal government.
Hmm.
Considering the ability or the experience of the people he's hiring. What I was saying about RFK is true though. That fucking guy, he would have been a good candidate for the USDA or the EPA because he really does. He has some really good ideas about getting fucking artificial coloring out of foods. He makes really good points like.
But
Potato chip or French fries. McDonald's French fries in Canada have 3 ingredients: oil, potatoes, salt. McDonald's French fries in the US have like 10 ingredients. There's all kinds of preservatives and this and that.
I actually would not get you don't know, and he doesn't know because he's not qualified what any health implications of those things might be.
No.
Because preservatives are not necessarily unhealthy.
Right. I wouldn't say that. I would say I would much rather have like he railed.
I would not want him forcing businesses in our country to change what they do based on, it seems like that would be unhealthy.
Well, I think the science says,
No, the science doesn't.
all other countries in other countries in Europe, all of Europe, Canada, they don't put any of that shit in their food.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthier or not healthier.
Well,
Unless those recommendations were made by people who specifically study those things,
they have been made though, Jess. They
by
have
people
been.
who specifically study those
Yeah.
things, not necessarily. Not
Well,
necessarily. I know that The
Other
UK
countries have
has a
people
whole
who are
bunch of
smart.
rules about what should and shouldn't go into food based solely on the fact that they think fat people are unhealthy, which
No,
is not
that-
true.
I'm not talking about all of all of that shit. Some of this shit is bad for us. We know it's bad for us. He railed against red dye 20 years ago.
Mm.
And people have been saying red dye causes cancer for as long as I can remember, just about.
But which people?
Finally, scientists. But the food lobby is able to say, no, 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 no. So finally, red dye has been, I think, completely now taken off. The big thing here is red hot dogs, the dye they use in red hot dogs, because red hot dogs are a big deal in Maine. It's cancer causing. But they have been fighting that for years, even though science has said, we think it causes cancer. There's a good chance it causes cancer. And science gets it wrong lots of times. Lots of times they get it right. But I'm okay with erring on the other side of it. I'm okay with saying, well, then don't put fucking red dye in it. I can't eat a hot dog without being red. Just give me the yucky color of the hooves and anus in a casing. I'm good with that. It's just, he I think he fucks himself up by seeing so wackadoodle on other shit. So when he says something good or something that's legitimate, you go like, he's a fucking wackadoodle.
Mm.
He is a wackadoodle. So you miss out on the good shit he says, or the good shit, and none of those things have anything to do with the department he's going to be for.
No,
he was right about the EPA concerns, and he was right about we should be investing in hydro and wind and get away from fossil fuels. Those are good things.
well, but now his friend Donna Joe Trump is against
he's
wind.
changed.
Yeah,
He's changed him now.
so we don't like wind anymore.
No. We have a lot of wind here. We've got, actually, I think they just
I thought you meant on the show.
oh, there's a lot of that. We just did some stuff out in the out off the into the ocean, some wind stuff out there. But people are always fighting it. Everybody fights fucking everything. And I think that this is
Because everything feels like a scam now.
Yeah.
I got a call the other day, and it was a legitimate call. It was on the number that I use for my voiceover stuff.
No way you would trust it.
And I answered it. It was a call from California. And because it was on this other number, I was like, who the fuck's calling that number? Yeah. And so I was like, hello? And the woman goes, hi, is this Jess Wright? And I'm thinking, how the fuck do they know my name? And I'm like, yes. And then she starts to sound unsure. And she goes, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah from the Audio Publishers Association, which I just joined, the APA for audiobook narrators. And I was like, oh, hi. You're allowed to call me.
I am with you. I am even legitimate stuff now. I am so fucking I'm suspicious of all of it. So when it's legitimate, I have to spend fucking 10 or 15 minutes if I get something in the mail or get an email or a text. I've got to spend 15, 20 minutes researching it to make sure it's fucking legit.
I got a call the other day on my regular number, and I answered the calls because, I didn't tell you about how Adult Protective Services called me about my mother recently. But I answered the call because it could be something important, even though I don't know who this is. And as I click the button to answer the call, and I hear this girl going, yeah, because that's the kind of people they are. That's why they're there. And so I waited for a second, and she finally stopped talking, and I went, hello? And she goes, hi, do you have a minute? And I said, no. And she said, well, I just have one question for you. And I hung up.
Yeah, because she's in some fucking call center.
Because I just fucking said no to you.
She's getting ready to scam you.
Mm-hmm.
The big give. So here's, I got one this morning. They used to call later in the day. Now they call really early in the morning.
Yeah.
Those robo calls.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, and you pick it up and you go, hello? and then there's that, I don't know, 4 or 5 second delay.
And then they go, hello?
Yeah. Hello? This is Heidi. Okay,
What
Heidi.
part of what I hate about that, aside just from the fact that it exists, is after that, I've said hello. There's a 4 or 5 second delay, and then they come on and go, hello?
Yeah.
And then I have to say hello again. Now I'm mad.
Because you've activated it. But here's what I'm wondering. So I am wondering if, are those all AI generated? Are the voices AI generated? Or are those actual people recording shit? And if it is actual people recording shit, they fucking know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that? Because I see lots of times in voiceover jobs, looking for people to read scripts. Nothing that I've ever had any account for, but you can tell just by the name of the company or what it's going to be used for that's what it is. It's scripts for that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We need you to record this, and the description is, it'll take you about 20 minutes, and there's some sentences, and it's a fucking it's somebody who wants you to do your hi, this is Rhonda,
Mm-hmm.
or whoever you're gonna be, making your fucking lame ass plea for debit cards or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. And if I call a business and I have to jump through your goddamn automated hoops,
Yes.
and so here's what infuriates me. So for my one prescription, I have to call the pharmacy every single month. I have to do it about a week before I'm allowed to actually fill the prescription because it's a controlled substance.
Yeah,
But
Class C or something.
they're not even allowed to order the prescription. So if I just let it go until the day I'm allowed to get it, they won't have it, and I have to wait 3 more days and go 3 days without it. So one of the pharmacists suggested I start calling ahead of time and say, I know you can't give it to me yet, but I'm calling you now so that you can order it to have it in stock on the day that I'm allowed to get it. And that's worked more times than not. But when I call the pharmacy, I get the automation. How can I help you? Speak to a pharmacist. Can you tell me what the call is about? No. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Speak to a pharmacist. Please hold while I get a pharmacist. And then,
Front of
by
house.
the way, did you know you can refill your prescriptions on... Stop it!
CVS. That's CVS.
It's Kroger.
Oh, is it Kroger?
Yeah.
CVS is the same thing here, and it's fucking hoop after fucking hoop after hoop.
Yeah. And if
That
I
would
could have
go
filled
in.
this fucking prescription online, do you really think I would be jumping through your goddamn automated bullshit trying to speak to a person?
And you want to go in and do it in person, but the fucking line is forever. Either the drive-through line, because they got fucking one person who's going from window to drive-through, window to drive-through, window to front.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And same thing. So I used to call, I don't order that prescription anymore because it's fucking too much of a hassle. And so I just say, fuck it. Fuck me. I'm not going to do it because it's question. And then I end up saying customer service. And you say fucking customer service like 5 times before finally it says, I'm going to connect you with the pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
I never get connected with the pharmacy. It's always up front.
I tried
let me see. If the
to
pharmacy-
renew my driver's license online the other day,
Oh, good luck.
and it got to where it needed to verify my identity by sending me a text sending me a thing to a code to texting me a code.
Yeah.
Except that it came through as an attachment that wouldn't download 4 times.
The AI has got it under control, Jess.
So now I'm going to have to actually call the motor vehicle office
Oh, and they're so pleasant.
to get them to help me renew my driver's license online.
You know what the funniest thing about I renewed mine recently online, and it was absolutely easy as hell.
It just came back to the call. That's weird.
Yeah, you never went away.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was on the phone with Dad. We're trying to figure out something with a real estate agent to buy the second house, and when he calls, I have to pick up.
Cool. Let's go.
Yeah,
So
nice,
Yeah.
nice,
So,
Christopher.
and this place it's Is that my fucking cat all the way back here? Better not be. Hold on one second. No, that's an ugly cat in the sewer.
So you're buying two houses?
It's a townhouse this time. Well, I'm buying a house, and it's going to be a townhouse. The one that I told you about in Brunswick, we just couldn't make it work out.
Oh.
So now it's a townhouse, but it's like 2,800 square foot townhouse.
Okay.
Complete with a loft over the bedroom, 4 bedrooms, and yeah, it's huge, and it's got like columns inside, and it's pretty cool. So
What is it?
that's
Is that
the new
Jersey?
one. So keep a candle lit.
It's
No, it's actually in.
inside.
It looks like the Sopranos mansion. Look, I'm in waste management. I can afford this.
I'm thinking, oh, you're moving into the Italian neighborhood. I see.
That's very good.
Columns, maybe a round driveway with the cobblestone. Very nice.
I was thinking about something with a couple of griffins on it, actually.
Some gargoyles.
Yes.
I renewed my license online. It was very easy, but it's insane that a guy my age, 60 plus, should be able to renew my license for 7 years online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think my dad said it was only 3 years once he got to 70 something.
You should have to take a driving test every other year, I think, once you hit 70.
Yeah.
You should have a cognitive ability test at 70.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily driving, tell me, should it, or what do you do with waffles? Do you eat them or do you place them on the wall? Give me a cognitive test.
Shit, my stepfather was driving long after he should have been. And when we finally were able to get the keys away from him and hide them, much to his dismay, he had driven to another state accidentally.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this is why I'm air tagging all the fucking cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm putting it in with duct tape on top of, I don't know, the engine block, I guess, somewhere, because it's just, I got to know where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if they still have it. You put it underneath, Chris, put it underneath the baffle or the what is that shit called? On the hood.
Right.
Chris, do you use Live 360?
I use it. I had it for me and Jenna, but
Yeah.
Mom and Dad refused to have that shit on their cell phones, and
Oh.
don't make me put that stuff on my phone. I don't want to be tracked. The government, 5G,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. AirTags it is.
so it's going to be AirTags, and
And they won't even know you're tracking them.
Well,
except they have Apple devices, so
I
they'll
was
know
gonna
that
say
an
that
AirTag is close.
the phone will tell them that they're being tracked.
Yeah, and they'll just figure out, I don't know what this is. That'll be that. And son, what's an AirTag? And I'll say, Dad, it's a security system for the car.
It's what it is, Dad. Is it, that little thing under your armpit? A piece of that's an AirTag right there.
That is exactly. And I have 2. I need to go to a dermatologist to get my AirTags cut off.
Too. I have a couple of AirTags too. That's what that is. It's letting you know that you probably should go to the dermatologist. It's figured out you got an AirTag under your arm there.
It's like, oh, well, good. And I told him I was going to put an AirTag in the car when the car got stolen. And I said, Dad, and I shouldn't tell you this because you're going to be pissed off either way. I was going to put an AirTag, one of these Apple trackers in the car, so I knew where you all were, at any given time. And he looks at me, he gets this frown on his face. Well, why didn't you fucking do it? Okay. All right.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Had I put it in there, what the fuck is that in there for?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
So I'm still want to go back to your night at
The Price is Right.
Yeah, The Price is Right.
Yeah, so what they do is they call. You're familiar enough with watching said program, right? Yeah, exactly. So the way they do it is they call 4 contestants to contestants row. Okay, and one person gets to go on stage and play the game.
Oh,
whatever the game is. Then they call another. Those other 3 contestants get a T-shirt. Then they call another 4 down to contestants row.
Oh, bullshit.
And then the person plays the game. Then they call 3 down, and each person gets to spin the wheel, and whoever wins gets to go to the showcase. And then they do 2 more games, same as the first, and another round of the showcase. So you've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 people that get on stage, and then 2 people that go for the showcase. And they give you all these prizes that you got to bid on, a year's supply of Jif, and, then a car and a trip and whatever. And if you win the showcase, no matter by what amount, you get the trip to Las Vegas and whatever prizes were before that. If you want the trip to Rome and the Kia that they're trying to give you as well, you have to be within $100 of the showcase price.
They stole that Kia.
Yeah, they probably. It was a newer one. It actually looked like the inside of my Hyundai.
It was a newer one.
Yeah, it makes me feel worse about my Hyundai now.
2022 Kia Sportage. That'd be so fantastic. It's slightly used.
Exactly.
It used to be in the fleet of the State Line Potato Chip Company. It was the salesman's car. Oh, that would be fantastic. I used to do a remote when I was working in Virginia. We used to do a weekly remote. Actually, it was every other week at a car dealership, and gave away a free car every other week.
Wow.
And it was a used car that didn't have a sticker. You had to get it fixed so it could get a sticker. And it was generally, it needed new tires or needed a new wind. It wasn't a fucked up car, but it wasn't stickered because it had something wrong with it. But it was still a free car.
See, that's what I expected on this thing. You've won a new Mercedes with salvage title.
That would for sure be a radio station prize.
From New Orleans, it's a Mercedes. It was underwater.
So, did you and Jenna know? Is it like a dinner thing, or is it just
No? It's just in the theater. It's like you're going to The Price is Right, except there's no cameras, and you got. Hey, I'm Todd Newton with everybody. So great to be here in Maryland. And why don't you go get a tattoo of a blue crab on your ankle?
And I would tell you what, if I got called up into the group of 4 and I got a fucking T-shirt, I would not be happy. Like, fuck you guys in your T-shirt.
Exactly.
I can tell you from experience, Wally, that people in Frederick, Maryland love T-shirts.
Yes, they do. That's why we had so many printed.
Mm-hmm.
So what was in the big showcase?
It was like a pallet of Jif. And then...
I thought you were just making that up.
No. Pallet of Jif, a Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville margarita maker.
Okay.
Trip to Vegas, trip to Costa Rica, and the Kia.
Well, the Costa Rica trip, that's probably free.
Well, and it was the showcase was $32,000. And the woman, it was 31, it might have been 31 exactly, and she bid like 30,000. So, and the other person bid 42, and I did like, God, that bitch ain't taking a plane ride.
My wife has been to Costa Rica. She had a thing there. She said Costa Rica is really nice. Mm. She liked Costa Rica, and I think that's a lot of expats. A lot of folks from the U.S. retire in Costa Rica. I guess it's relatively inexpensive to live there. And there's not a lot of crime. I don't know that any of that's true. That's just what I've read. I don't know.
That's what the brochure says.
About to say, you sound like you're reading a fucking propaganda flyer.
It's all anecdotal. It's anecdotal, you guys. Anecdotal. Jesus. Okay.
Well, I need to head inside, and I would love to talk to you as I'm walking that way, but it is so fucking windy here. Yeah. You'd never hear me.
I got to go anyway.
It's been super windy here, too. And Jess, I hope next week, when we come on, you're ready to go, and we don't have to fucking sit around and wait.
Yeah, we don't have to fuck around waiting for her ass. You're much better.
You and technology. God damn.
I know.
Yeah. And as the Philadelphia Eagles fan said, fuck you. That's it.
See you guys.
All right, ladies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.